Thank you for joining me again on Godman on Leadership. It's a new season of my podcast, and in this new season, I've been speaking on the resilient leader. We're living in an unprecedented time where there are loads of leadership challenges that we have to cope with. And for me, it's been an exciting time because I've approached this season with an open mind, thinking, there's always something to do differently, something to learn, and something to change if I will maximize the season. It's been challenging, but I've taken the challenge, one after. How do I put it? I've taken the challenge, in my stride. And in the first episode, I spoke to the subject of the resilient leader being a leader that is given to emotional control. I spoke about not reacting, but responding to situations and circumstances. And in the second episode, I also spoke to the subject of confidence, that the resilient leader is the one that is confident in his God-given ability and also gains, a sense of awareness that makes him to want to speak to the ability of other people and allow them to also speak to his own ability. So we talked about confidence in your own ability, and then interpersonal confidence that will help you to galvanize your team towards the achievement of your goal, despite the changing times and despite the challenges that we're facing at this time. Now, in this episode, I'll be speaking to the subject of challenge. That a resilient leader is the one that takes the challenge that will come in good faith. A resilient leader is the one that is able to handle, over challenging situations. Now, let me break it down this way. There are different situations in life, and they put us in different mind frame. There's a situation that will come your way and you will feel challenged. There's another situation that will come your way and you will feel moderately over challenged. There's another situation you'll find yourself and you feel dangerously over challenged. When you feel dangerously over challenged, it's like it paralyzes initiative. You are not able to do much or achieve much with your leadership or with yourself. Now, people decide whether to stay on a job or not based on these different scenarios that I've painted. Now, many people will leave their job just simply by saying, I wasn't challenged. When I interview people, maybe looking to hire for a particular role, why are you leaving your job? That's a question. That's one of the questions that I ask people. Why do you want to join us? Why do you want to leave that place to join us? Sometimes people will say, when I took the job, I thought it would challenge me, bring the best out of me, but now I see that I'm not really challenged. The place and everything is just so mellow and so easy. I feel like I'll be wasting my life and my potentials if I remain there. So those are people who are not challenged at all. Some people on their job are moderately challenged, and they're okay. They just take it in their own stride. Some other people are over-challenged, but moderately over-challenged. And when you're moderately over-challenged, that's the sweet spot. That's where you get to deploy your potentials without damaging your soul or damaging your body or damaging yourself mentally. Yeah. When you get to the level of being dangerously over-challenged, what happens is that people's health start to fail. They start to fail in relationships. The marriage may be crumbling because they're dangerously over-challenged at work. They're dealing with emotionally demanding situations, things that may even be way above their skill capacity or their confidence level. And so they get torn apart and they start to struggle. As a resilient leader, what you want to pay attention to is your willingness to stretch, your willingness to take risk. Your mantra becomes, I will push myself. I will remain driven, but I will be careful not to push myself to the point where I become dangerously over-challenged. In the face of unprecedented situations, industries reducing in profitability, nations shutting down, and economies shutting down, and all kinds of things, families trying to cope with, kids schooling online, all kinds of things that are challenging us today. If you're a lady, watching this, you understand that you have been challenged, especially if you have children. You have to cope with the marriage, cope with your children, cope with your demand at work. For a man, some men have lost their jobs and all that. And if you are a leader, you still have to cope with people going through all those kind of situations, coupled with your own peculiar situation as it may apply to you in different areas of life. All these things will mount up, serious challenge for every leader. Can I ask you right now, can you rate your challenge level? Are you challenged at all? Are you moderately challenged, as in just on the average level? Are you over challenged? Is it moderately over challenged or dangerously over challenged? A resilient leader is the one that will seek to be over challenged but moderately over challenged, so that even when it becomes dangerous, you can easily find a way to bring it down by creating a bit of control around yourself, emotional control and all that. Like we discussed in the last episode, the interpersonal confidence, where people are speaking into your life, you're speaking into other people's lives, and you're encouraging each other, and you're reducing the level of the challenge. On your team, you're looking for someone who can take a burden off you, who can take something off you that will reduce, the level of challenge that you're facing per time. So you keep yourself at that level where you're moderately over challenged and you're not breaking down all the time. You become that resilient leader that everyone wants to work with, everyone wants to be with. Things are happening around you. You must take up the willingness to stretch, to take one or two more risks, to push yourself. And lastly, you also need to be that kind of a leader who is willing to learn from everything, even the setback, the challenges, the opportunity, the difficulties. You're willing to turn everything to opportunities for learning, an opportunity for learning. Because this season, when you focus on not being perplexed, not withdrawing to faith, but taking up the challenge, allowing the challenge to pile up, but to a level where you're just moderately over challenged as a leader, but not, just doing average work and just saying, look, I can't cope with this, I can't cope with that, I can cope with it. I know I'm going to learn something from it. I'm willing to drive myself a little bit more just to be able to achieve the goals that we have set for ourselves, maybe as an organization or as a team that you work with. That's how you develop the resilience that is needful this season, so that whatever may come your way, you know that you're a resilient leader who is able to pull through any adversity. And that's how you're going to be able to motivate yourself, your team, to be able to achieve the next milestone that you have set for yourself. So please don't forget, a resilient leader is the one that handles challenges very well. Not perplexed in the face of adversity, not perplexed in the face of challenges, but galvanizes his team to dissipate the seeming difficulty or lack of emotional fortitude to take up challenges, and then moderate the level of challenge such that you are well challenged, but you're not dangerously over challenged. I know that you're developing capacity to do more, to be more, and to lead better. And I believe in your success. I believe that victory is coming your way. I believe that you're going to ride through this storm. It may look like a perfect storm. Whatever you're going through right now, in that enterprise, in that office, whatever you're going through right now, I need you to understand something, that everything rises and falls on leadership, And leadership, like we say, is influence. Will you use your influence well? Will you get stronger and not get bogged down by the things that are not working, but focus on what is working and take up the challenge? But don't allow yourself to be dangerously over-challenged so that your health will not break down, so that your joy will not be stolen, and so that you can remain focused on achieving the goals that you have set for yourself. I look forward to seeing you on the last episode of this season, where I'm going to be speaking to my final thought on the resilient leader, which is on commitment. Join me there, and I look forward to seeing you.